What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Today is the return of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. We have two songs, Stone Wave Cliffs, Lampmaster. And then after that, this song, which I don't know how to pronounce, but it is...
Une vie à t'aimer.
Yeah. And that is, to put it lightly, my most requested song in a long time. It's 11 minutes. These are requested by Biosleeve. Thank you very much. Just as a heads up for the requester for another song, I don't want to spoil, but it's a little longer than this one. That one's coming later. And yeah, so that'll come at a later time. Okay, well, let's just get into it. These are from the channel Lorian Testard, who is the composer. This soundtrack is amazing, and it's kind of like taking over the world, and there's probably a good reason for that. So, I do not know what the context of these songs are, if they're connected whatsoever. I'm just going to hear them. So, let's start with Lampmaster. That sounds cool. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. I think I hear violins plucked and bowed. Pizzicato. Strange. It sounds kind of distant, but it also sounds like it's like looming towards us as well. Oh, it sounds chaotic as hell. The bowing is getting more intense too, dynamically increasing. How long is this song? Oh, it's only... There's only been like less than a second of percussion. That's so interesting. Oh, okay. I can't tell if it's building or if it's like stagnant. I really hope they do something with that beat because it sounds amazing. There's a minute left. Please do something with that beat. Oh my gosh, this sounds like I'm going crazy. It sounds like madness to me. It sounds like voices in your head. It sounds like your life flashing before your eyes. What the heck? How is every song on this soundtrack so different from the last? That was like the biggest tease I think I can imagine. Oh, dude. Okay. Um, there was roughly 2 total seconds of percussion in there, and I was hoping it would take off because the sound of the beat that was coming in was impeccable. It was super strong and punchy, and there was times where it gave me the feeling of Go Blues boss fight, the what was it, Rain from the Ground, which I've heard since I heard that song on the channel, dude. I probably heard it like who knows, 500 times, maybe an exaggeration, maybe 100, but still, I learned it on bass, and it was again, it kind of gave me that sort of like warped, odd reality type of feel of the soundtrack sometimes that it has, which is funny because sometimes the soundtrack can sound really obscure. I know, but seriously. Or it can sound really clean and direct, like with the Alicia vocals or Alice vocals. It kind of covers a lot of artistic values, both. How do I say this? It kind of like touches all senses. You can visually get stimulated, ears. You can kind of like feel it as well. You can probably even I don't know, like from what I've seen of the footage, you kind of like can smell it as well. A lot of flowers, a lot of vegetation, and I don't know. It's like a very human experience, or sensory experience, I should say. But also the fact that this song kind of like toyed with you. I don't know what that was. I don't know what Lampmaster means. Sounds like a character. But it sounded very unstable. Very... like I was thinking of something like the first Joker film, like to come out a couple years ago. Where, like, towards the end, where he's like in the asylum, that kind of thing. That's what it sounded like to me. Just being stuck in your own thoughts and just hearing a bunch of things. It sounded like a part of a movie where someone's horrific past is coming, but where in a movie it would be like 2 seconds, this was 3 minutes. So it felt like it was just, not in a bad way, but it felt like it was dragging, and it just made this anticipation grow and grow and grow. And the fact that the beat kind of teased just added like the cherry on the cake. It sounded very like mess with you deliberately. That was interesting. I'm also noticing this kind of pattern of light and dark. Someone told me the title of the game is basically a play on that, light and dark. But also lumiere, right? It was light. Lampmaster. So, I don't know. I don't know what that was. I would have to imagine that's a boss, because unless music sounds like that when you're walking around the world. I don't know. I'll say this, though, before I go to the next song. I don't think I've heard a song like that on the channel so far. Which, I feel like I've been saying that with Clair Obscur lately. I don't know. I don't know how else to put it. It's just really bizarre, but dope. This song is in French, and I don't know what it means. Also, I've been told rigorously by people in the comments, do not look up any lyrics to this game. They will flat out, and I guess this is a warning for all you guys too. This is the lyrics just straight up say the events of the game. So, okay. But I've also heard from some people that the lyrics kind of don't make sense. Some kind of, like it's French, but it also is kind of gibberish. I don't know. Either way, 11 minutes. Not many songs and games that are 11 minutes. So, 3 million views on this, dude. My most requested song in quite a while. Well, I'm nervous. This is UVAT. I did hear another song with a similar title. I'm not sure if I've heard this other vocalist before. Unless that's Victor. Rain. That's cool. The guitar sounds beautiful here, and the violin. Trying to decipher the mood of the song, right? Screaming. I think it is Victor. This sounds good right here. if this is Victor, does he speak French? Or did he learn it? It sounds like it. This has to be late game, surely. It sounds like the whole soundtrack kind of just thrown at you. That's why it sounds kind of late game to me, like it's a recollection or something. Still got a while to go. But it just keeps going in and out of like intensity. Oh, it is Victor Bola. I just saw it down here. I was trying to look at the guitarist. Doesn't say the guitarist. So it is Victor. Barely hear the drums here. Give me a second to process. I have a lot to say. First things first, I think something that is unique here is the fact that Victor Borba has now been included in two of my most biggest requests on this channel. My biggest video on this channel is Bury the Light from Devil May Cry 5. Also heard some other stuff he's done with Casey when I interviewed Casey Edwards, which is on this channel as well. Also, Victor commented on the other video I did for Clair Obscur that he's in, so super cool. So there's that. Small world. The thing, I'm gonna just be honest here, what I got from this song was pretty similar to what I got to I don't know if it was the first time I heard Clair. I think it was. But there's another song that's really similar that had Victor in it. And I think it's this one that's being recommended to me on the side. It's called Une vie I messed that up, I'm sure. And I remember, if that's the one, I remember saying something like, this soundtrack is going to be, this is before the game came out, mind you. Before the hype, before it blew up. Maybe like a month before, something like that, a couple weeks. I was like, this soundtrack is like not to be messed with. I think this has potential to be one of the best of the year. And I said in that video that the quality of the recording was like kind of bad. And there were uploads that were dating back, way before the game released. So I thought that was just that, But even then, I didn't really like hinder my thoughts of how good the song and the potential were. And this one, it felt like it reverted back. So I kept checking down here. It was like when this was uploaded, and this was uploaded like not that long ago. So, but it still has that quality of from before. So I don't know if these songs were like one of the first recorded. Normally that doesn't matter to me whatsoever, as I just explained. But in this one, I couldn't really like get around it. It was kind of harsh in a lot of areas. And by the way, if you're expecting me to just completely praise this 100%, that's not going to happen. I'll explain that in a bit. But recording-wise, I'll even go as far as to say that was one of the worst, like, for Clair Obscur, one of the worst mixes. I don't know why. But the drums were, like, super drowned out. And I know you could be thinking this is all for effect, and it's intended. A lot of the other songs don't sound like that, you know what I mean? And so I don't know. I'm not really going to fault it for that, because if I had to assume this song in the game sounds incredible, that's just my guess. But I'm just saying for the sake of this video, the drums are really drowned out. The guitars were like harsh as well. What I'm thinking is happening here, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but what I think is happening here, based on the amount of requests I got for it, and how long it is, and the amount of views it has, I'm guessing this is more about the experience of when this song is playing. So whenever you get to this part of this game, which, by the way, I still plan on playing this game, so please don't spoil. Please. I think all that is what is the hype here. Not to say it's not a good song, it's just, I feel like whatever's happening here, it's like, oh my gosh, it's such a grand event. And that's why it's just in and out of different styles and intensities. And not so much that the song is, the best thing ever, because I didn't really think that. And that's okay, right? We're entitled to our opinions. It just gave me that feeling of, that one recording. So, I don't know. If you're still here, there's a couple more things to say, which I think is a really interesting experiment going into this, because I don't do things like this normally. But if you heard at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be doing another video soon, which is a 30-minute song, which I've never done here. I've done a 20-minute song, and that was intense, and that was really hard because I didn't know what was happening. But a long time ago, I got a request for a 30-minute song. You probably know where I'm going with this. And I'm pretty sure this one is included in there, or it's like somewhat part of a medley. So we'll see how I feel when that time comes. If anything changed, you know. But finally, what I will say about this is don't think what I'm saying is I didn't like this song. The best way to go about it is there's parts I liked about the song, and there's parts that I didn't. You know, I wasn't gonna like all 11 minutes. I think no one will argue that context is important, just like every other song on this channel, but there was only like just a couple things that I kind of gravitated towards. Everything else was just kind of there for me. I don't know how to explain it. Besides, I'm just being honest. I'd rather be honest than, you know, blow smoke. So, and you know what's funny is that the other day, someone during a Clair Obscur video, they're like, he's doing all these Clair songs except for the one that we all want. He's just like milking views, which is like the funniest thing ever on this channel because I don't care. The only reason these songs get pushed here is because people are spending their hard-earned money to push it to the top, right? I have a backlog of like 4,500 songs, so you can eliminate that thought process. But yeah, I think it's probably the feeling of getting to this point that's making the song just kind of ascend. But personally, just in the same video, I thought Lampmaster was just cooler and more interesting to me, which is so bizarre because on this channel I don't really do the whole like comparisons, especially in the same video. But I think what it was for this one is just it had so much hype behind it that it was built up to me on this like pedestal. It's still really good. I love Victor Borba. I think he's super good and he's super talented. I didn't even know he spoke French. I like the harmonies. When the guitar came in, it was cool, but I don't know. It sounded off to me. So I'm not gonna, you know, sound like a broken record, but all I'm gonna say is, I'll say this, which is true, by the way. This song, despite it not being my favorite, is still better than like a lot of songs currently in the gaming world. You know, it's still part of Expedition 33, which is such an incredible soundtrack, right? I'm not backpedaling. It's still really good, but to me, it's not my favorite in the soundtrack by any means. And then again, one more thing, by the way, I am aware that people do send me stuff just to get my reaction, obviously, my thoughts. Maybe they also think it's not that great and they wanted to see, they were trying to test me. Maybe they wanted to see if it's universal. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things to think about. But to me, personally, at the end of the day, because I know I'm going to get some viewers with this, new viewers, and they're probably just like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I'm just always going to be honest. And to me, just good song, but that's it. You know, Lampmaster was super cool. And this one, again, it has a potential for redemption in that 30-minute song, which that's going to be a whole new experience. I don't do 30-minute videos like that. Anyways, tell me your thoughts. Be honest. Honesty is better than, well, anything really. But I want to know, first of all, I want to know your favorite song in the soundtrack. I'm really curious if I've already covered it or if there's still more. And yeah, I think that's all I got. That's all I got. I still have more Clair Obscur requests, by the way. Not too many. I'm doing a lot of them, but yeah. Okay. I still plan on playing it, though. Looks cool. Okay. Thank you to everyone, to the composers, Lauren Testard, to Victor, to Kilian as well. A lot of people. Biosleeve. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Have a good night.